Alright, testing 1, 2, 3. My settings seem to be right for microphone and game audio. We are now playing actual footage. And my lunch is cooking in the background, so that's probably going to be cold when I get to it. Greetings and salutations, I'm Ekamak. This is Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. And I decided that I would do the thing. I have added my icon over in the corner down here. Or I guess over here. I've added my icon, so now I have that going for me. If I ever have to do group content, I don't have to worry about accidentally doxing people. Downside is that I might have to intercept. I might have to edit this video rather than upload it directly from Twitch because names were named. Anyway, hello. Last we talked to Luke Lamar. Let's talk to Luke Lamar again. Have you ever had tacos? They're truly all old classic. You bake a crunchy shell made from corn flour and fill it with the meat and salad. A lot of shops and stores sell them, but I like how they're made here at FFXIV the best. And I need one in front of me right now. Let's head downstairs and place an order with old Brookville.
Brookevo! My companions must sample your heavenly tacos. One for each of us, please.
Right away, promise. And I'll pack them tight with my choicest fillings. Only the best for you and your friends.
Did you hear the Silver Scales are back? Seems their overseas foray ended in disaster. More than half their warband is missing.
Was that?
Aye. And now keen to rebuild their broken reputations, the survivors seek the Golden City. A fool's errand. How many hopefuls have disappeared in search of that fable? They should count their lucky stars they came home alive at all.
The Silver Scale Mamouja was actually one of the hard mode dungeon mobs. I want to say Wanderer's Palace Hard featured them, where you have to save the Tonberries from them. And it actually ends with all the Tonberries mobbing the Silver Scale Mamouja leader, so yeah, we're not going to hear from him ever again.
The legend of the Golden City is well known here, I take it.
It is, but as no one's ever seen it, many question if there is any truth to the tale. Like our skeptical Erinville.
I can't imagine the Dawn Servant would request a formal survey for a place that doesn't exist.
Now to find a spot with a pleasant view to enjoy our crunchy spoils. Oh. Ah.
Hi.
If it isn't the third promise.
What the?
I don't know these ones. New salt.
Dredge from foreign waters is my guess, brother.
Of course, that's it. Wuklamat is so afraid of the coming contest that she went crying for special help.
Was there something you wanted, Bakul Jaja?
The third promise remembers us! Such an honor.
Glory on your name, brother.
And on yours, brother.
The sarcasm is
I know
suffocating.
my rivals for the throne. Nothing more.
Another child of the Dawn Servant?
No, this brute.
We have no ties to their farce of a family. Unlike the sneevling house cat, we are blessed siblings, the elevated chosen. We alone are fit to succeed Golul Jaja as Dawn Servant.
All peoples are equal in Tulihiola. Your heritage gives you no greater claim to the throne.
Shall we test that idea here and now? See if your strength is equal to ours.
None of this has any bearing on the right of succession, correct? Best not waste your energies on pointless scuffles.
The kitten comes to the house cat's defense.
It is interesting how they handle the rivals.
Derek, since when was our nation overrun by mewling weaklings?
Listen to me, you.
A two-headed Mamulja. I knew of them, but that's the first I've seen in the flesh.
Some get it into their twin heads that they're destined to follow in my father's footsteps. So they travel to distant lands to hone their battlecraft. Those are likely the ones you've heard about.
Are there other two-headed claimants?
No, just Bakul Jaja. Even in Tural, his kind are far from common. The Mamulja people largely belong to one of three clans. The Hubigo, the Bunewa, and the Dopro. Every once in a great while, a two-headed offspring is born from a union between the brown-scaled Hubigo and the blue-scaled Bunewa. The child grows to possess immense strength, both physical and magical.
Blessed siblings indeed.
Forget them. Let's go and buy more tacos. I can think of nothing better to rid me of this bad taste in my mouth.
Enjoying your tour of the city, I trust. We've seen our share of notable sights and took a moment to rest. As such, we're ready to present ourselves at the palace for the rite of succession. Shall we meet you there?
The palace it is. I'll let Wuklamat know. Destiny calls. Perhaps we can return for more tacos later?
So it goes.
I was looking forward to trying some authentic Tuliolo cuisine, but we should hurry and join Alphino and the others at the palace. Alright, it's a bit of a climb to the top, but you can head up from the Resplendent Quarter, or even the eastern side of Talon March if you prefer. Now you have an idea of how the city is laid out, I'll let you find your own way to Vulukshunsha. Ah, my poor empty belly. Okay, here's a question. How well have I covered the Ethernet shard setup for this city? Okay, I haven't taken the forward... Let's see. I still have to get these. And that. Which one's Wakumeke? Okay. I guess we'll be going there anyway. We might as well take the long way around. No, wait. The fastest way there would be Resplendent Quarter. Then we travel up the staircases. I do have a thought on something interesting to point out, but I don't know whether I'll have enough time to. If you look at old ether currents, they've actually cut all the ones you have to find with ether compasses in half. I think they do that for every old version, so you only have to complete about half as many as usual, but I don't know whether it's that they remove half of the ether currents, or if half of the ether currents vanish after you, half of the ether currents vanish after you attune to 5 of them. Also, you might find the animation team's consumption... Apparently no one on the animation team knows how tacos work because I don't remember exactly where, but there was definitely a complaint of no one, that is not how you eat tacos. Fair enough. You made it. Good. Then we're all here. I'm still hungry enough to eat a whole roasted kolibiri, but the contest won't wait for us forever. Hooray! A jacket I don't actually want. Upon speaking to Erenville, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It's recommended you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Sure. I mean, we're only 16 minutes in, that's got to be plenty of time. I've acquainted the twins with the city as best I could in a short time. Their unbridled enthusiasm made it rather difficult. Invariably, something would catch their eye, spurring them to run down an alley to investigate. It was like herding a pair of unruly squirrels. Ha! I understand all too well. Charlene had the same effect on me. Right then. Now it's time we saw the inside of this palace. Papa will want to know I'm home and to meet the allies of Chosen. Given how impulsive she is though, there's no telling what we might be in for. Okay. Thank you very much.
How did he get here?
What's the point? Why is he here?
Oh, you know this man? Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to Sunperch to duel. Pressing duties or no, he can't resist a good fight.
So the one Estinian's crossing blades with.
That will do, Spearman. I will receive my darling daughter.
Hi, Estinian.
Know that you are the strongest I've fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that woman there.
Hello.
I see you, warrior.
We had no idea you meant to visit Taral.
I've seen what lies east. This time I chose west.
And thus did our itinerant dragoon make his travel plans.
Actually, now that I think about it, that ties into the Dragoon job quests. You actually hang out with Estinian in the east for the level 60 to 70 arc because you're trying to track down a missing dragon. And he does actually show up to help you out. So it is... Why is it always Estinian? Why is he the single person in the job role quest? Actually, no. I will correct myself in a minute, but it always is Estinian who the Dragoon job quests always get involved in this. Although that said, you do actually see Ishtola's sister show up.
You witnessed our bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
Ishtola's sister is in the Summoner job quests.
I'm not sure I understand.
The old man has been feeling his years. The uncovered side is the head of resolve, and age has only deepened his love for combat. But the head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energies.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventures.
She fought, killed, and ate a giant parrot.
Lamachi.
A term of endearment. It's what my family calls me.
When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Solanash.
It's Erenville now, Dawntrail. I took the name while abroad, and have since grown accustomed to it.
Erenville, then. And these others?
I assume our Lamatis recruited allies. Ha! Old-tempered steel. Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their metal, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once.
Then I shall leave you to it. Good fortune, my friends.
The three promises plus Bakujaja.
The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Zorolja. The second promise, Ona. The third promise, Uklamat.
No, he just met. I mean, it is Erenville now, but no, he turns out to have a different.
The chosen of Mamuk, Bakujaja. You four will compete in the rite of succession, the outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Servant. I am not the man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away. And it is time I yield my position.
Oh, that's a nasty looking scar on his neck there.
But mine is a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyola is young. And so I look to the always for inspiration. The rite of succession. The means by which the autarch of Mamuk was chosen. Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyola I built is a nation of many peoples. Our leader needn't have two heads, nor be a Mamulja at all. So I gave the right of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as well. Yet the opportunity to rule was still not equal. That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the winning prize.
Now you have us to compete against. Oh, though it seems the one-head was already too afraid to face us in the tournament.
Our brother was in Shock Tural leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a Tural Vidral. Anyone with sense will know he was too busy for games.
Now for the part you've been waiting to hear. The nature of the contest itself. To triumph in the rite of succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne, you must travel the lands of Yogg-Toroil and find the City of Gold.
Because it couldn't have been easy, could it? We couldn't have had a nice, easy contest. It's got to be some sort of miracle we've got to pull out of our pants again.
If I may, Father.
Speak, Kona.
The Golden City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, the story has become more fairy tale than fact. If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
Are you for us proof, my unbroken word? For I have seen it with my own 4 eyes.
Where do you think I got this giant throne I'm sitting on from?
The city's real. All those years.
This was before the founding of Tuliyobo. I traveled the lands of Toroil with my companions, and we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City.
It's not pausing on Ibuki long enough for me to say it, but there's something about the lighting in this room that makes it look like she has brown hair rather than black hair.
I need to have you do the same, but in order to achieve victory proper, you need to break the seal I put in place. Bring them.
The rocks we ended the last stream checking out. We've got miniature versions now.
The Tuliyola saga.
You will retrace the path I walked to unite our peoples, step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your worth. Earn their keystones by performing the feats they ask of you. Once you've fitted each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal on the Golden City's gates.
So the contest is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate objective.
Exactly. Exciting, isn't it?
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
Were I a few years younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both, but I am yielding our nation's throne. Let me have this final indulgence.
A waste of time. Just name Bakunja as successor and be done with it.
The rite of succession begins now. I'll be watching you progress with great interest. And Clemens, Remember to collect your tablets before you leave. You are one of Lamachi's allies. Speak freely.
I am Cryle Baldessian, representative of the students of Baldessian. My name is perhaps familiar to you?
Ah.
It would seem you sent this letter to my orders some years ago. The ink has since faded and much of the writing is illegible. Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf. Included with the correspondence was this earring. A fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here. On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
No, not at this time.
That would be giving the Lamachi an unfair advantage after all.
I have tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the right of succession. But once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor. If you want to hear it, then you had best help Lamachi win.
Very well, Dawn Servant. On my honor as a student of Baldessian, I will find your Golden City. Thank you for hearing my petition.
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
He looks scary, but he's a pretty nice dude. And now a large audience so we can talk about each of our rivals in succession.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this? Our third promise is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm. Or perhaps you've been lured by the glory of the Golden City. Either way, this contest for the throne will place you and yours at the heart of political turmoil. If you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you withdraw.
I already paid for this expansion.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road.
Even now, we can't get away from the influence of Grahatia.
But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
I want to see where this journey ends.
So you are committed to your path? I will speak no more of it then. As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not after the Dawn Servant's revelation.
Here they come! It's Saralja! Such a fearsome name. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliola's mightiest warrior.
First promise, our village needs aid. The cold weather stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry. Once you ascend the throne, I beg of you, grant my people new lands, please!
Saralja.
Take heart, tiller of the soil. The resilient son, blood heir to the Dawn Servant, has heard your pleas.
Soralja, the first promise and commander of the Landscape. Saralja, the Palaceer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Soralja is indeed the natural child of Gulul Jaja.
And Resilient Son, is that another title, like the first promise?
After a fashion, common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children. Yet Soralja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
They never tell us who the mother is, though. That's going to be a mystery hanging over the entire series. We don't find out who was strong and clever enough to catch the Dawn Servant's attention.
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hardened soldier when I see one.
He's a natural swordsman, a gift he inherited from his father. Some even say that the son has already surpassed the sire. Should he come to power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists. This puts him in direct opposition to Wuklamat, who advocates for the preservation of peace. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Soralja, the warmonger.
Cryle, are you all right?
The echo. It gave me a glimpse into Zawalja's ambitions. Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable fire. It was a trifle terrifying, to be frank.
Yeah, apparently we have a very different version of an echo to Cryle.
Second promise, you must bring us more marvelous conveniences. More dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier.
The elders, they complain and complain about abandoning tradition. But we're not like them, afraid of everything foreign and new.
You have our wholehearted support. With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
Forgive me, but the right of succession is barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant. If you will excuse me.
Plain spoken, as always. That's Arcona. Practical to a fault.
Here we have Kona, the second promise, who spent time as a pupil at Charlian's own studio.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less from a royal family.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid attention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliolal with every bright notion he learned of in Charlian. He is the hope of those who prize innovation. As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuklamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
How gracious of you all to cheer the lesser claimants. Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? I'm no different from your Dawn servant. That my kind should reign is Mamulja tradition, and has been so since before there was a Tuliyola. I'll brush aside your feeble contenders, and then you'll see who deserves your fealty.
Well said, brother.
The Mamulja have finally found peace in Tuliolal. A pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
The chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise. His strength is undeniable, but you see how he is. A few devoted Mamulja are his only supporters.
What would he do with the throne should he win it?
His policies and so forth. I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself. But one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn Servant, he will see the Mamulja exalted as the ruling class, and all others forced into subservience.
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
The entire crowd disperses before Wuklamat could get out.
We wish for one thing and one thing only, third promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turoli way.
Galul Jaja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
You have my word. I won't let your pleas go unanswered.
Until Tuliolal was founded some 80 years ago, this continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era. and they are Wuklamat's most ardent supporters.
Apologies, it's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid. She's been like a mother to me my whole life. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she insisted on seeing us off.
I place our precious third promise into your care.
Did you know Wuklamat was taking part in the rite of succession?
Of the Dawn's promise? I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
She killed and ate a giant parrot.
She pales in martial prowess. And then there's Kona, who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
It's fine. I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
Better? Wuklamat. I have never thought of you as the lesser sibling. Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you boast qualities that both lack. A strength that is yours alone. Having cared for you for so long, I should know.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with bated breath.
It's only morning in Neola's time, apparently. Well, so much for the brief reunion I had in mind. Papa is not one to waste time when he decides to act. I'm used to it by now, of course, but others are often caught off guard. In any case, we should talk about how we're going to find the City of Gold. All we have to work with are the 7 tablets and their connection to the Tuliolol saga. Might I suggest first comparing the tablets against the pillars? We can check for any discrepancies between them. Good idea, let's go and take a look. Alright, the fastest way there might just be a straight line. Well, I'm not a crow, I'm an aura, so as the crow flies isn't quite accurate. The preparation of intricately carved tablets for every claimant must have taken considerable effort and forethought. We should consider them weighty reminders of that this contest is no light-hearted manner. At a glance, they seem pretty much the same. I won't give up until we find the Golden City, for Wuklamat as well as myself. I wasn't expecting contest events to progress that quickly, but I won't complain. The contest is the main reason we're here, after all. That makes everyone. Wuklamat, the tablets, if you would. Of course. everyone has a tablet, then let's compare them to their respective pillars. Keep an eye out for even the smallest differences. Six hours later. Well, one of them is far more portable than the other. Unless I'm missing something, the glyphs appear to be identical. The only difference being that the tablets have hollows where keystones are to be fitted. So now that we've established that the scenes are the same, where do we go from here? The Dawn Servant said we were to retrace the path he walked in uniting Tural's peoples, and that we could encounter 7 electors along the way. Then we have the answer in front of us. Papa's path is all laid out in the Tuliolo saga. The events the glyphs portray, do we know the exact locations where they took place? If one is close, we could go there and search for an elector. That would confirm we're on the right track. Let me think. The Lay of Reeds was in the nearby Hanu settlement. Papa took me there once. It was during festival season. The whole village was alive with good cheer. There's also the Lay of Gold. That one involved the Pelu Pelu village, which is about the same distance from here. Before going anywhere, we should ask around about the road ahead. I heard a lot of talk as we toured the city about that storm we passed through at sea. Apparently it ravaged Yogg-Tural several days ago. Since our roads are not as well paved as yours is, they're more susceptible to damage from natural disasters. If we want to avoid wasting time taking a dead-end trail, I suggest we spend a few moments making inquiries. If it's information we need, just leave it to me. I'll bring the information to us. Well, she has an idea. I'm sure that's a very dangerous expression for anyone to use involving her, though. It would be prudent to ensure we've prepared for the journey. I'll guide you to the accommodations I've arranged. And here we are, the Aethernet shard that I need to attune to. So this is the local inn equivalent. That's right, the reservation is under Wukulmart's name. If you don't mind, I'll leave my companions to you. Certainly, sir. I'll go and track down the third promise. Once you've finished organizing your gear, you can meet us outside FFXIV. Do I look like I know how to pronounce these things? Actually, I do need to move the chat bar at some point, or maybe make it smaller or something, because it's currently covering up my face. Greetings, visitors to Tulial. Welcome to the Forward Cabins. Whenever you're ready, I will show you to your rooms. I mean, we could go check it out, but I think I'd rather focus on main story progress because we only have so long in the afternoon before I have to cut the stream. Await your companions and embark on the rite of succession. Trust you to be the keenest to head out, Ibuki. But where are Erenville and Ruklamat, I wonder? Oh good, you're all here. Who might your companions be? Seeing as we needed information, I thought who better to get it from than the locals. These two hail from the villages we're thinking to visit. I give you credit for taking initiative at least. What do you mean, at least? I am honored that the Third Promise would seek my advice. I too am happy to answer your questions. Any encounter might be an opportunity to do business. Thank you both for your help. Before we begin, there will doubtless be other occasions when we need to act independently, so I brought these for you two. What's this? 'Tis called a link pearl, a gemstone harvested from a special shell. When linked together, they allow people to communicate across great distances. Is that so? What a handy thing to have. Just don't use them to say anything you wouldn't use in a Sharlayan court of law. The Sharlayans are always listening. It'll be very useful on our travels. Speaking of which, I should get back to introducing my two new friends here. What a stroke of luck to forge this connection to the palace. May it be the beginning of a profitable partnership. Please, ask anything. I'll gladly tell you what I know. The Tuliyollal saga features a number of Turao's clans. Two of those, the Hanu Hanu and the Pelu Pelu, have settlements relatively close to the city, so I brought a representative of each. As I mentioned before, the Hanu are cheerful people who love their festivals. They make their appearance in the Lay of Reeds, and their home village, or Kanu, is located in Koza Mauka. The other, smaller fellow is of the Pelu, a clan of business-minded folk from Ukropokacha. They appear in the Lay of Gold and craft all kinds of marvelous goods in Wachunpelo, their village. Now, as for deciding which village to visit first, why don't you put that adventurous instinct of yours to work for us, Ibuki? Pick our destination. Upon completing this quest, the main scenario will branch into 2 quest paths. Accepting the quest from one will temporarily prevent you from accepting the quest from the other, and vice versa. So this is different to the usual ones where if you find one region is too crammed, then you can simply jump to the other's version. No, because we've got an entire group going with us to each, they lock you into one path. The second path will become available from the respective NPC once you have completed the series of quests from the first path. Furthermore, story elements and quest rewards will not be affected by your initial choice of path. Speak with the NPC you prefer. Embark on the trail for the rite of succession. I actually put this up on my YouTube. I don't think the placement changed at all, but I'm just going to double check to make sure that I'm picking the one that I promised I would pick. So if I jump over to the poll page, yeah, I got 1 vote for the first promise, which means we're going to be talking to the approachable Pelu. The quest to Kozumauka will become available once you've completed this quest series beginning with the approachable Pelu. What is it that you'd like to know? Our main concern was confirming the state of the road ahead. As I recall, to reach Urkupu-hacha, we depart from the Arch of Dawn and take the road west at the first fork. Should we be wary of anything along the way? That is indeed the way to Urkupu-hacha. After the damage wrought by the recent downpour, however, you'll be doing more stumbling than walking. But do take heart. When it comes to rugged terrain, we have a most dependable solution available. Come with me. We'll be back to talk to you in good time, good friend Hanu. Meanwhile, you can eat and drink your fill at Exwell Brunava Tai. It's all been arranged. I'm bored of this minion. Let's get a new one. Oh great, it's the Nier Automata pet. Talking to a Pelu before we departed was a wise decision. I, for one, would rather not brave a treacherous, slippery trail on foot. Oh my, are these fluffy babies our mounts? The Pelu all being small is confusing enough, but those masks make it impossible to tell men from women, let alone guess at their age. The beasts are sure-footed, that's for certain. Ugh, why did it have to be alpacas? May I introduce to you our most dependable companion, the alpaca. Demon Llama! These animals can traverse Urkupu-hacha's steep mountain trails as if they were gentle fields, and all while carrying heavy loads. Our merchants would be lost without them. So they fill the same niche as our chocobos back home. You don't have alpacas in Eosa? Alpacas are native to Dawntrail. Eosa has chocobos, and Eastern lands have their horses. Why go to the trouble of breeding another pack beast in a place which ill suits its qualities and where it is not needed anyway? But must we ride these little monsters? I get the impression you aren't fond of alpacas. When I was small and being a bit naughty, I went around pulling on their wool. One of them spat on me, and it was the foulest stench you can imagine. I see. What do they like to ride? Alpacas are bred as mounts are inquisitive and docile. Even those without experience find them easy to handle. We're really doing this thing. So, was my information useful to you? Yes, very helpful, even if it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Good, I'll take my payment now. You want me to pay you? I guess I should have expected as much from a Pelu merchant. Let me see what I have on me. The Pelu value the act of spreading joy through trade, as you should know. They try to take pride in making deals that benefit both parties. Here you go. A fair price for your fair advice. Yes, I made a trade with the third promise herself. My friends will never believe this. I shall be on my way now. I wish you safe travels. Off you go then, and thank you. I better not get spit on again. You brought that on yourself. Remain calm and gentle, and so will they. I'm still not happy about this, but if we need to ride alpacas to reach Urkopacha, then that's what we'll do.
Turali poets of yore sang of a mountain that would stand tall, even should all other lands sink beneath the sea. Indomitable and eternal, it arises from Urkopacha, the 100 peaks of time. Of all the beasts which crawl and fly, only the legendary Valigarmanda could hope to disturb the summit's serene majesty. Yet, with that flying calamity imprisoned by the Dawntrail, what great feat remains for those who would claim the throne?
So this is Urkopacha. I've never actually been here before.
The air is so crisp and clear.
Mountains everywhere you look.
That one massive peak in particular has quite the presence. It puts me in mind of Som Al.
That is Workor Sormor, the tallest mountain in Yogg-Tural. Its sheer height makes it an imposing climb. But there are other reasons the ambitious keep their distance.
Oh? Do tell.
Where to begin?
Excuse me, but you're Wuk Lamat, are you not? I hadn't thought to encounter one of the Dawn's promise here, of all places. But I should introduce myself. I am Bol Nok, a weaver by trade.
Well met, Bolnok. We're on our way to Watrunpelo.
Oh, truly, I've just come from there, as it happens. I'd asked the Pelu who sell me their wool to give me a tour of their alpaca ranch. The head rancher and I shared a bottle of mezcal while he explained the finer points of wool production.
Mezcal, is that a local beverage?
It's an Urkopacha specialty. A spirit made from distilled agave heart juice.
Yes, and it must have done wonders for my mood, for I tripled my usual order of alpaca wool. They did offer me a discount, though, so it wasn't a bad deal in the end.
Looking at the time on the stream and how far we've gotten, I don't think we're going to make it to the first dungeon, unfortunately. We'll just play until I feel like we've timed out.
But listen to me, boring you with my tedious stories. I will leave you before you are lulled to sleep. Goodbye, and safe travels. Oh, silly me. I almost forgot to say the thing I actually wanted to say. Peace for Tural. I agree with your vision, Third Promise. You have my support in your bid for the throne.
I gather from his tale we would be foolish to underestimate Pelu Pelu merchants.
Yes, they do more than run the markets in Tuliola. Pelu Pelu peddlers can be found everywhere in Tural, traveling from place to place on their sturdy alpacas. They are effusive and engaging speakers, and many's the customer who's been talked into spending more than they bargained for.
So they're Lalafels.
They won't find this customer so easily charmed.
Famous last words.
Watchun Pelo's down the path! Off the main road! Don't get lost!
It's right there!
It's been a while since we've seen enemies that don't want to beat you up the moment they spot you. She's already been swindled for everything she owns, hasn't she? This is it, the Waku Hunpelo, home of the Pelu Pelu. Uklama should have arrived before us. That's not good. You've come all this way for the right of succession. Oh, so this means I'm exchanging words with the future Dawn servant. Please, the outcome is far from decided, but it is a possibility. How fortunate then, I deal in cloaks woven from especially luxurious alpaca wool. Such a garment would look magnificent when draped over the shoulders of a budding ruler. And our nation's ruler should dress her best for her adoring people, yes, finery for our finest lady, that's right. Come third promise, my well-stocked shelves are but a few steps away. Finest lady? I like the sound of that. I suppose a quick look wouldn't hurt. She's as bad as a Stinian. Ahem. What did we just talk about? Erinville, when did you... Ah, a Shatona from far off Zaktural. Northern winters are bitterly cold affairs, I'm told. I cannot imagine how you survived them without a lovely warm cloak of quality alpaca wool. No, thank you. I'm not in need of new clothes at the moment, and neither is the third promise. Perhaps another time. Of course, my shop door is always open. You were saying something about not being easily charmed. I was just... As I mentioned previously, the Pelu Pelu live for bringing happiness through charade. They won't cheat you or sell you defective goods. They will, however, disarm you with their deft turns of phrase, and unwitting customers like Wuklama fall prey to this affable approach time and time again. Your only recourse is a clear and firm refusal. They won't pursue the matter should you make your disinterest plain. A valuable insight into the minds of the Pelu Pelu. Let us all take Erinville's words of caution to heart. I can't resist. I have to go attune to the Aetherite before I forget. Oh, there's the minion. We've got a fledgling dodo following us around. I swear, I let her out of my sight for one moment. Uklama is lucky to have Erinville. Everyone, royalty especially, needs a friend unafraid to chide them when the need arises. It would seem the Pelu Pelu are also partial to coffee. All these houses and buildings made to Pelu Pelu size. And mine too, come to think of it. Wuklama is ready to search out the Dawn Servant's Elector. Not my finest moment, I'll admit, but now that we're here, let's do what we came to do. Find the Elector. Allow me to propose a strategy then. Kral, Alizé, and I will speak with the merchants. Wuklama, you and Erinville might try approaching travelers and passerby. Ibuki, pray investigate any other establishments which catch your eye. Should we learn aught of use, let us relay it to the third promise. The Dawn Servant's Elector? I thought you were a new face in town. Here for the right of succession, I take it. Me, I don't care. I don't much care who sits the throne, so long as they keep Tural peaceful. People tend to not be in the mood to relax and sip our excellent mezcal once arrows and spears start flying, if you know what I mean. Speaking of which, would you like a cup? A joy shared is a joy doubled, I say. Alright, you were asking about that Elector business. Being but freshly returned from my trading route, I've heard there's a contest afoot, but not much else. Our head ledger Tobley could probably tell you more about it. Adding the alpaca keep to our repertoire of places to go, adding the gemstone trader because we're probably going to have gemstones sooner or later. Electors? Oh yeah, I've heard all about the right of succession. They're looking to put a new ruler on the throne, eh? Personally, I'm rooting for Zoral Jar. If the first promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. That means access to more resources and more customers, in the thousands column potentially. So many new trading opportunities to spread happiness far and wide. Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I've begun crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something else? No, I would not. Very well. You said you wanted to know about the Elector. I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you're no supporter of Zoral Jar or his policies. Yeah, these guys are not very nice for all the build-up they got earlier. Hi there, I'm Mablu. Did you have a question for me? Sorry, I don't know about any electors. You should take a moment to see our prized alpacas before you leave, though. Oh, but be sure to admire them from a respectable distance. Get too close, our nervous darlings might be tempted to spit on you. And that stuff stinks. It happened to a visiting buyer not so long ago. Tobley, that's the head rancher, was so mad at me for not giving a proper warning. No one makes a mistake without Tobley noticing. He knows everything that happens on this ranch. You know, the name of the guy that we're looking for. Oh, Tobley was mad at you for not giving a proper warning. Okay. You really have to watch yourself around these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of mezcal and a stack of blankets, and then there was this enchanting ornament. Anyway, I did manage to learn that Tobley is the man to talk about the contest. Now, if only they'd share this, where this head ledger of theirs is to be found. Really? He's also the head rancher? Well, the alpaca ranch is not far from here. I say we pay it a visit before the others return. That is a lot of alpacas. Still, we know the head ledger could be here somewhere. Plot twist. The head ledger is an alpaca. I can't let the fear deter me. Not to say that I'm scared, of course. Excuse me, is one of these workers Tobley? Tobley? Oh, yes, he likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. I can't tell you which one he is, though. You can't? Is this part of the contest? All I can say is that Tobley often mentions his favorite pungent subject. He also can't resist a profitable trade, though who among us could, am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip. Heh, so it's like a game. Easy enough, all I have to do is offer Tobley a deal he can't ignore. No problem at all. Well, maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we think might be Tobley. Let's ask some questions first to narrow down the field. Great, we can meet back here to share our impressions. Ibuki, help! They got me to buy an alpaca! I don't even want an alpaca! Well, I'm obviously not Tobley. I shouldn't have said that. You're meant to find out yourself who Tobley is, or if an elector is even in the village at all. Good luck! Ah, a visitor from across the salt, if I'm not mistaken. Be warned, the alpacas will spit if you startle them. I suggest you keep your movements slow and deliberate. You think I might be Tobley? Well, maybe I am. All I will say is, in this village, none have reared more alpacas than I. Am I Tobley? Yes, that's me. Excellent work from the Third Promise and her entourage. Sharp instincts. Shall we commence the rite of succession then? I see we're both done with our interrogations. So who do you think it is? I have my suspicions, but let's hear your pick. The diligent one. Ah, so the workers so intent on stable chores. I had my own that one too. Time to rip the mask off our mystery ranch hand, so to speak. We know it's you, Tobley, and to prove it, I propose a deal. A generous sum of coin for confirmation of your true identity. An offer I gladly accept. As you have correctly guessed, I am indeed Tobley, head ledger of Wachumpello, head rancher of the family ranch. I am also one of Gulujaja's chosen electors. Ah, in a place featured in the Tuliolal saga, just as we thought. I was right to trust in your instincts. I wager this won't be the last time. She found you out fair and square, Tobley. And I'm glad she did. Would have been a pity had her bed ended here.
Deducing the Dawnservant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
Right. Not hard at all. Zorolja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobley, is to be found here.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobley. That's part of the test.
You're Tobley.
They gave it away.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed. With that amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge. Per the Dawnservant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered the number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one. You must go forth and capture for me an alpaca.
Well, it was a good run, but I think we've lost.
While I've not had the best experiences with alpacas, aren't they generally docile creatures? That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example!
This one used to be the Emperor.
This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, Third Promise?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Aaronville said.
It's not tame.
Ah! The little monster spat on me! Ah, that stinks! I can't.
Alpacas are paradoxical creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly. Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit. As you've all just witnessed. Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid and can therefore be quick to lash out. They're also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but biddable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
That's all well and good, but did I need to bathe an alpaca spit for you to make your point?
Don't make fun of the girl with an axe that's bigger than you are.
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creatures dwell. And by you, I mean the claimants only. Allies are not permitted to assist with the catching. The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
So I'm to chase down a fluffy, spitting demon, and that somehow proves I'm fit to rule?
As I said, the Dawn Servant granted me the freedom to decide my challenge.
I suppose it's better than a fight to the death with everyone else. It would definitely cut down on the competition.
And when you reach the end of the ride, I dare say you will understand why I chose what I chose.
Alright, we have about half an hour. Let's try and get to the point.
Very well. This won't take long.
Let's try and get to the point where we actually have an alpaca.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast. All yield to strength.
So far, this experience has done absolutely nothing to improve my opinion of alpacas. But that doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
Are you all right, Orclamart? We thought we heard you scream.
The third promise does not scream. It was more of a startled yelp.
Scream, in other words.
Did you find the Elector?
Oh, we certainly did.
This branch actually has a lot of dialogue, but I'll have to push pretty hard if I want to get to the Who's-Its. I have to go and watch that nasty stuff off my face. I think I got all of it. Would you mind taking a sniff for me just in case? The stench has ruined my sense of smell. Hey, I saw that look. Erinville wishes to discuss the feat of gold. As Wuglumat helped demonstrate, the valley alpacas are wary of people. Getting close enough to catch one will not be an easy task. You might have warned me about that earlier. I had enough trouble with tame alpacas. How'd you expect me to wrangle a wild one? Well, he doesn't expect you to wrangle Wild One. It's Tobley that did it. Go complain to him. With the proper saddle, we infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that soothes the spitting beast. Wonderful! Give me one of those then. Have you forgotten we are a clan of merchants? If you want a taming saddle, you'll need to find a saddler and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost you the equivalent of 10 pel in the thousands column. You mean 10,000 pel? I don't have that kind of coin. Converting to gil, that comes to around 1 million or so. Mayhap if we all pitch in. No, this is my feat to accomplish. I wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money. Somehow. In that case... that basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier. 1 pel in the hundreds column. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for ever more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with for the saddle. That's a nice gesture, but you think I can turn 100 pel into 1 million? That's 10,000 times more. We need 10,000, not 1 million, so we're looking at 100 times more. Oh, right, I panicked and got it confused with half nose million gil. I'm not so sure about this trading idea. You were almost talked into buying a cloak you didn't need mere moments after you arrived. But I just... God, I hate it when you're right. Then let me help you with your deal making. Well, hello again, Maplu! I work here as a ranch hand. But I've also learned a lot about the peddler profession. I'm sorry, but her forgetting the name just reminded me of that moment in Heaven's Ward where you can mistake one of the normal Moogles for the King Moogle in the area. Okay, I have control again. It's alright if I aid them now, yes. I guided the claimants toward the first step of the feat, like you asked. As long as Wuklamart goes alone to capture her alpaca, she's free to accept assistance from whomever she likes. Hooray! Let's see about getting you that saddle then, Fillard Promise. I don't know why you made your offer, but I could use an ally with a beak for bargains. Welcome aboard, Mablu. Should the rest of us stay behind, perhaps? It may be easier to haggle over promises without so many voices chiming in. Yes, stay here and pitch in with the ranch work. With Mablu gone, I'll need extra hands to tend to the alpacas. Gladly, although, Ibuki, I think you should go with Wuklamart. You've seen markets and bazaars the world over and surely have sage advice to share. In that case, you should also hold on to the alpaca wool. If it's misplaced or soiled in some way, you'll have nothing to bargain with. As if I'd do such a thing! But I'll leave the wool with Ibuki anyway. The better to keep my hands free. Oh man. Yeah, I don't think we're even going to make it to the alpaca, unfortunately. To begin with, I suggest we try trading the wool to Havli, the settler. He won't agree to the deal, of course, but it'll give us an idea of how much he'll accept for his wares. We could actually afford to pay for it outright. We do have that gil, but there's a catch to this that we're going to have to go through. something I can do for you? We've come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. A saddle, is it? And how will you be paying for it? With this basket of fine alpaca wool. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. And what might that be? Mezcal. I like to nurse a cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff and you've got yourself a deal. This bodes well for us, Third Promise. Such mezcal can be had for only 5 in the thousands column. Hold on, did you say Third Promise? Then my offer has changed. The saddle is going to cost you a jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years at least. 3 years? That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price? Because I must support the man of ambition who will see my business prosper. Zorulja will go to war, and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. It's nothing personal, Third Promise, but I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Hey, you remember how at the start they said they like to give people good bargains where both sides prosper? Yeah, I think that it's a load of shit. I can't say I blame him. I'm known for championing peace, and peace is unlikely to bring him more customers. War is likely to bring him soldiers gonna shoot him in the head, so I think if anything he's just short-sighted. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these Palo will pray for your victory, Wukulmat. The younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we enjoy now for granted. Still, others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future the Second Promise envisions. They've become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles that have made trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havli, convinced that the First Promise's plans for conquest will afford them more opportunities for great profit. But what about you, Mablu? Aren't you of the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. Oh, I was raised on the old tales. I've memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Yokui ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawn's servant, to keep our nation from going back to the way it was. Well then, I guess I'd better make sure I win the contest. But the type of mezcal the saddle maker wants is so very expensive. Weren't we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed, we need to get on with it. I may not have a head for trade or a stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up with piece of Toliola on the line. Then neither will I. We will make you Dawn servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pel jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration. So let's first try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for the throne, for instance. How convenient, we actually met one of those people. Of course, the Weaver! Bolmuk was his name, I believe. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision, and he was here to buy wool. I think I remember the direction he was going. For now, let's head back to the road where we first met him. I don't like him. I don't like Havli at all. This is the spot. After Bolnu talked to us, he walked off to the south. Then he said he was going to Ikuvlu's Inn. Most visitors to Huachun Pelo end up staying there. Let's go and check, shall we? You can now summon mounts while moving. It's very nice. Oh. Hey, MIDI. Can I have the basket, Ibuki? Thanks. Now let's see if we can't turn a profit. Bolnok, I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade? Third promise, you wish to do business with me? Might I ask what this is all about? I see, so the goal is to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal? Then allow me to invest in your efforts! Peace in Tural is what allows me to freely cross into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I would prefer that one pledge served to preserve the peace, win the throne. Thus I do humbly offer you this wool poncho. A small token, I pray, contributes to your victory. Oh, that's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the hundreds column. That's very generous, Bolnok. I promise I won't let you down. I have every faith in you, Third Promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. I can't believe you quintupled your investment with your first deal. We're off to a spectacular start. Only because Ibuki remembered our weaver friend, all I did was hand over the wool. That's not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered. You think so? I know so. Now, let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. Here, Ibuki, you take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Erinville would never let me hear the end of it. All set. Our next deal is waiting to be found. Excellent trade. 100 pel to 500 pel. Success! You traded a 100 pel basket of alpaca wool for a 500 pel wool poncho. Actually, hang on. If I open up the inventory, a sturdy poncho you received in trade for a basket of alpaca wool worth 5 pel in the hundreds column. Gotcha. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense, but how do we know if someone needs a poncho? They aren't wearing one? That's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for a person without a poncho and hope they're eager to buy ours. Yes, there you go. We find the demand for our supply. So, where should we begin our search for prospective buyers? There are many number of places, but we could do worse than starting right here at the inn. There might be interested travelers. Who here needs a poncho? A lot of Mamuja hardly wear anything to begin with. Those are probably Landsguard or sellswords. Mamuja who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. So even if they have bared shoulders, Mamuja carrying arms can be struck off the list. Wait, we can select Mablu. Tell me, who among these gathered travelers who do you think might be amenable to a proposal? Professional fighters like those of the Landsguard would have little interest, though the same could be said of any Turali who prioritizes ease of movement in their work. So, you already have one. You have weapons. You have a staff, which is probably counting as a weapon. You do not. Let's see. No coat or cloak, but also no weapon. Well, we might have a winner. Oh there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or lack thereof. Oh, it was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat just wasn't so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tuliolal, and was dressed quite smartly. All the better to show that Pelu I'm a man who takes pride in his appearance and therefore his work, but now look at me. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. What a splendid poncho! This would be the perfect replacement for the coat I lost. We'd be willing to part with it if you'd like to make a trade for one of your fine tools, perhaps. What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself, and will vouch for its quality. The blade looks sharp, the haft well made. I'd value it at 1 pel in the thousands column. Oh, from 500 to 1,000, we have a deal. Wonderful, a fine garment such as this should put me on even footing with any Pelu merchant. Like the eponymous owner of Miplu's Mate Garden for one. Her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate. I thought to impress her with the tool I sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I am to have met you. You know, in case we need a hint for where to look next. Did you hear that? We've already found our next buyer. To Miplu's Mate Garden we go. Yes, but it's a fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. These ones will be the calm type, right? Excellent trade. 500 pel to 1,000. You traded a 500 pel wool poncho for a 1,000 pel hatchet. Honestly, it's amazing that it's taken this long to get a trading side quest in the game. Trading side quests are sort of a staple. We had I think the oldest one that I know of, which doesn't mean it's the oldest. Well done recognizing that toolmaker as a potential customer. If you've a mind to change professions, he'd make an excellent merchant. No thanks, I prefer shooting people. Wait, I've been forgetting to do the thing. I just realized so now that we've got access to new zones, so we have to find 10 wild ether currents and complete 5 ether current quests. And an important note is that this section of the map right down here, we can't go there. We're going to be held off from doing that until later in the main scenario. New minion. Wuklama steals herself for the ride to find your next training partner. Who's Porum? Before we get moving, you should be the one to hold this. With that, I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Mablu has so kindly provided. Ready to go? Let's mount up. Begin alpaca ride. And it's off to the mate fields we go. Please don't spit, please don't spit. You'll be fine, these ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. You have a knack for riding, no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we Pelu could never have become traveling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way across Tural? I swear, that mountain is too tall to be real. Wokozomo, wasn't that the name? A forbidding sight, isn't it? One I've never appreciated up close. You have to take the long way around the cliffs to get there, to the highlands belonging to the Yokhui. And I'm sure there's going to be absolutely no reason to go there. So Mablu, you said you were learning about the peddler profession. You don't care for ranch work? No, I love it. I love working with alpacas. But becoming a peddler has always been a dream of mine. It's just, I'm not sure I have the talent for it. If I can help you buy the taming saddle though, it'll be proof I can do this after all. In that case, you better get ready to be a merchant. Look, we're almost there. Wooklamart has so many lines, I'm probably going to have her voice down to a science by the end of this LP. Okay, cool. I just got an announcement about someone playing Final Fantasy XIV online, but it didn't show up on the stream, so that's nice. I don't have to worry about doxing people, including myself. We made it, and without a single smelly incident. I sent the alpacas back to Ikuvu's inn, so we'll walk along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn Servant, weren't you, Third Promise? That I was. Then perhaps you too understand. I was an orphan, you see. It totally took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. All of them? Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet, here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. I don't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're prepared to prepare for the feat of gold. As it's Mate has a visiting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets. Add to that Woklamart's way with people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's Meeplu herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the Third Promise. Let's get to bargaining. You have that little axe for me? It's a hatchet. Thanks. Now to see what we can get for it. You're Miplu, the owner of these fields. I have a mind to trade if you're interested. Well, the Third Promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan, razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. A sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the thousands column. The same price as the hatchet. This deal would bring us no closer to the mezcal. If I say, Mistress Mekluit's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. We missed the window for demand. In that case, we have to fall back on connections. Think of it this way, a generous deal here will put you in the Third Promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the Second Promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming, and I will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you, I have nothing but respect for Wuklamar. That is why I am prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair given your reasons, but we ourselves would be no better off with a transaction. How about this then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Koana's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the fields. Then, you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Adding value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you like, Mablu. Ibuki and I have made together. Are you familiar with what this is? Am I saying it right? Oh no, I'm helping too. Off to the fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. Mate, mate. I'd know. Don't know how much longer I can fairly ask you to stay up for, but wait, we are almost done with it. This will be the second last trade. As soon as I find where all the leaves are. Handy thing about having a mute button on my microphone is that if I have a bad cough coming on, I can just hit that. A sizable pile of freshly harvested mate leaves. You've brought me some leaves, then? An acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fare before I make any decisions, though. Here, we've brought our fair share as well. Thank you, Third Promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine after adding the value of your labor to the price of the hatchet. I am prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. Premium mate? Bought at the shop, one of a sack of those leaves would cost no less than 5 pel in the thousands column. Then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. A lot more likable than the saddle maker was. Mablu, what's wrong? It's as I was saying before. Even after everything Tobli's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. But then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Tobli to accept my decision then? So you intend to give it up? So you intend to give it up then? I can't. After getting a taste of real trading, I want to become a merchant more than ever. Then you'll just have to be honest. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Tural's peace, and becoming Dawn Servant happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing. I wouldn't be surprised if Tobli held the same opinion. So talk to him. You're right. It's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. But first, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What's next then? We tried to trade our leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel? No, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal. Bargain our way into double the value, eh? Think you can do it? Trust me, I will make this trade work. I admire you, Third Promise. That you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Koana and Zoroja? I mean, of course I am. I'm Wuklamart of the Dawn's Promise, after all. You can see that for an empty self-insert, even Ibuki has opinions about Wuklamart's behavior. Success! You traded 1,000 pel hatchet for a 5,000 pel sack of top-grade mate leaves. Which means we did 4,000 pel worth of work. 4,000 pel worth of work there. Wuklamart has her eye on a jug of premium mezcal. Before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I don't need to risk proving Erenville's point. Ready then? Our next stop, Mezcal Distillery. And they wander off while I jump into my car. Okay, are there ether currents? There is one up there. We'll grab that. We'll see if there's anything else really close, and then we'll... Honestly, we just teleport back. We don't need to walk all that way. $333 to the east. I can't be bothered. I might do hunting for the ether currents off screen. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, just look at this. They're already here. We want to speak with a man by the name of Gobli. Even among his fellow distillers, he's regarded as master of the craft. Not to be mistaken with Tobli. He knows the value of his product, so if we're to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need targeted information. That means asking around and taking in gossip. Spill the tea, why not? If you could talk to the people here in the distillery, Ibuki, perhaps Wuklamart could do the same at the village entrance. Meanwhile, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. Me? I'm a chef from Tuliolo. I often come here to buy Gobley's mezcal, the finest in Toral according to my customers. He always brings out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small sips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but I still end up so addled as to agree whatever price he quotes me. It would be nice to have less potent refreshments during such conversations. Also might have to seriously reconsider our arrangement. So, do you think that's a reference to what you were talking about earlier with how this stuff is strong? Gobley might be a deft hand at distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'll be laughed out of Sunperch. There's not much I can say about Gobley, but I can tell you what Gobley's been saying. The other day he was muttering about monsters prowling around Agave Jaws. That's the field where they gather ingredients for the mezcal. Their presence has made it hard to procure said ingredients and thus drive up the price of his product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work it does. Can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing they love. So, what did you find out? Oh, we can make use of all those tidbits. The deal is as good as sealed. As for me, I found out where Gobley is working. There's a millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. You go on ahead, I'll bring Wookla map. You have business with me, madame? Why don't we talk below so not as to distract the alpacas from their work? Now, what's this about? Keep it brief if you would, I'm a busy man. We're in the market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal, assuming you have any on hand, that is? Ah, an excellent choice. I must warn you though, it doesn't come cheap. We don't have pale, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. It's top grade stuff like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. No deal? Just like that? Still, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? Oh, I know that there's a correct order for these, but I think I always get it right in the first try, so I don't remember what the right order is. The distaste for a strong drink, because that's what he's trying to hit us with. I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regulars, a Hubigo chef, is the same. Seeing as not everyone can enjoy mezcal, I wonder if you might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like mate tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest of leaves, of course. You're right, you're absolutely right. I had noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hobigo friend, but did not realize I myself was to blame. I must endeavor to be a better host. Still, with even that added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you'll offer. Should we offer to cull the monsters causing them trouble? Not yet. We keep that card up our sleeve until we need it. As I expect you're aware, the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with their presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your mezcal were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes, I must admit I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honor and opportunity if I can secure the deal. Well, I should think your exceptional mezcal would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared. First impressions last. You'll want to be wearing your very best when you walk into Volokshunsa. It would be such a shame to miss this chance of a lifetime simply for want of proper garments. Stop! The man's already dead! That it would... Are you saying you have garments to offer? Something ideal for court? We have no garments on hand, I'm afraid, but we can provide you with the next best thing. An introduction to a weaver. His name is Bolnok. His works are highly regarded in Tuliolal. She's using every trick of the trade we taught her. As a supporter of Wuklama and keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion. That is certainly a tempting proposal and one of which I would like to take full advantage, but the scales still aren't quite balancing. Say, weren't there monsters running amok in Agave Jaws? That's a problem we could easily solve for you. Truly, I would be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigned to hiring sellswords to clear them out. Factoring in the saved expense and an introduction to the trusted weaver, this is shaping up to be a sound bargain. Alright, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment, Ibuki and I will take care of those prowling nuisances. In the meantime, I'll use the time to pen an introductory letter to Bolnok. The fields you're looking for are just north of Wachun Pillow. Be safe! Oh! It's the fat chocobo. Hang on, I have to turn this on. Sound settings, play music when mounted. That should be Agave Jaws just over there. This will go fast if we split up. Come and find me once you've finished clearing out your share of the pests. That feels like a Hildebrand sort of mount. It's taken us this long to actually get to hit something. And it's the fancy new track for being in a new expansion, isn't it? Is there an ether current around here? East. So, yeah, up there. Isn't that Final Fantasy IX music? I guess I didn't let's play enough of the game to know for certain, but I think that's the battle music for Final Fantasy IX that mount plays. Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. Oh, that's an eye. Oh, gross. Come on, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is give Mahablu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. Those monsters were no trouble for you, it seems. Now, if I could just have the sack of leaves. 5,000 in the 5 in the thousands column. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. Your monster problem has been resolved, Master Gobley. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bol Nook. As agreed. Then the deal is done. Here, your jug of premium mezcal aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliments. Yes, we finally have the mezcal. Great work, especially you, Mahablu. You were the one who inspired me to come this far, Third Promise, but let's not celebrate until we have the saddle in hand. Mahablu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand. For now, should I ever become a proper merchant though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. We're rich! Wuklamar is ready to return to Havli. Even at the palace, I don't think I've ever held a 10,000 pel jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you better hold on to it till we get to the saddle maker. Can you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? Luckily, Havli's place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. There is a quest I'm keeping an eye out for on the minimap, but I think we have to finish in this region before it becomes available. This is it, the trade we've been working towards. Still in one piece. Right, time to make our deal. Get your tools ready, saddler. We've brought your precious mezcal. Wait, you actually got your hands on a jug, but you had nothing, a few measly clumps of wool. What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift for negotiation. Although I'd sooner aid no claimant but Zaroja, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu Pelu. The trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, third promise. Great! Stay and wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take long. Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair, but you have an easier time of it with one of my saddles. Now, if you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. Ah, I can taste that smooth mezcal already. We did it! The saddle is ours! And to think we started out with only 100 pel basket of alpaca wool. Mablu, you are going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you. It makes me so glad to hear you say that, third promise. We got what we came for, so let's return to the ranch. The others will be waiting. Feat accomplished. 3 premium mezcal to taming saddle. I hope they're getting paid for their work. You've acquired the saddle, then? Yes, and thanks in no small part to Mablu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. I know. This is something I need to learn. Thankfully, this isn't a roleplay instance, so we are actually almost done with this story arc and I can end the stream. Great sunken gods, I did it. He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit, as if he was completely accepting of Wuklumat's touch. That is because of the singular scent which the silk saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I've never taken a good long look at one of you before, but you're actually kind of cute. You're only noticing that now? Oh, speaking of which, Zorojah, he's back! So, he didn't bring one back immediately, but having done exactly what he set out to do. The alpaca he's brought, is it just me or is it glowing? He caught a shiny. I've heard tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley, where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? The beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration for how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Wuklumat. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Tural can remain at peace. An everlasting peaceful desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of war's merciless nature, these are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tuliyollal all those years ago. Consider the younger generation of this village. Since birth they have basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war not as a tragedy, but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much needed lessons in the realities of conquest, and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. 'Tis true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. But I have seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through the violence you propose. The rebellions it spawned, the ruins it left behind. The Gallian Empire was a congregation of simpletons. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. This is why Gulujaja did not elevate the Mamulja, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would not unite not only Tuliyollal, but the star in its entirety. What? Why? I need not explain myself to you. Oh, well done indeed. The first promise has completed the feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-deserved keystone? He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even with Koana. It's like we're not even family. I'll ponder Zorojai and his mysteries later. Right now, I need to think about finishing the Feet of Gold. I have my saddle. I've practiced how to use it, so lead on to where the wild alpacas roam. The Valley of Oronaka is northwest of here. Come on everyone, even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Wuklumat off on her hunt. Alright, what does the Mountain Roulette give us this time? Yeah, that's a boring pick. Well, that's a lot more unique at least. The problem is that the more mounts you pick up, the less likely you are to get some interesting Mount Roulette music, so I often find myself swapping between music on and music off because there's a lot of different places. Sometimes you want to hear the new overworld music. I can do this. I know I can. Cheer on Wuklumat as she marshals her courage to attempt the harrowing task of capturing a wild alpaca.
Good luck there, Promise!
Thanks. I don't need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it. But if I'm to rule this nation, then I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home too. Right. I'm off.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
As will I. Wuklumat is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Cool, then we can make our HP and MP go back up to the max. Where is that cottage?
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
What's a gleaner?
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shitona from Shak Tural? Why did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlian. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart. And off I went to become a cleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, cleaner work was much to my liking. And I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding this city of gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the right of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Wait. Do you hear that?
I did it.
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, Third Promise.
I'm not complaining about having things getting done
The
quicker.
ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
I'm so relieved the third promise came back to us safely. And the alpaca she tamed is a healthy looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the heat of gold. Let's hope it's not a mimic in disguise. Mablu is minded to rush ahead to the village. Wuklamat still seems a bit unsteady on her feet, hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt away fatigue like magic though? Mate tea. I'll arrange the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time and the tea will be ready when you arrive. I don't think we ever get to explore Alpaca Valley though. Not even in a dungeon. As Mablu so wisely suggested, we shall set a slow pace for our exhausted third promise. I keep getting mounts that I forget that I got. They're also very slow. Northwest, so the way that we're moving away from, darn. And there's that rotten shiny way over there. Came back ahead of the others, did you? I should hurry along with the tea then. Wuklamat can't be that far behind. Oh, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. I see you've become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas. What grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks. I guess I've grown kind of fond of them. Welcome back, Third Promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? Yes, there's no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it! Although I couldn't find a shiny one like Zoralja did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Gulujaja himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too? So my grandfather's stories say. It was before the founding of Tuliolao, in a time when the mountain giants, the Yokwi, held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came the young Gulujaja, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawn Servant. Our people were amazed by this imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yokwi in stature, and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Gulujaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from the cups of mount tea we offered him, and grew somber when he learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Gulujaja ascended the cliffs to face the giants and freed the Pelu Pelu from the Yokwi's subjugation. He then turned an appraising eye upon our riders and proposed we take the road to peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who travelled as he did, intent on fostering amity between the clans. So it was that a few words from Gulujaja transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I've never heard of the Bon Papa forge with the Pelu Pelu spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed. Then you might not know that Gulujaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up into the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. So, both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures. Well, an ordinary one was the best I could manage. The feat required no more than that, Third Promise, and you brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablu's right, you're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelu Pelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. Don't eat it. I know it looks like bubblegum. Don't eat the keystone. So, This is what they look like. Go on, set it in the tablet. A perfect fit. That leaves 6 more. You're well on your way, Third Promise. We'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs. It might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas I was uncomfortable around them. I'm thankful to you as well, Wukulma. You've given me the courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Tobli, I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything you've done for me, and I've loved every moment of caring for alpacas. But this is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide. Yet never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness you knew. You have my blessing to walk any path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear you found a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You will make an exceptional peddler, I'm sure of it. Thank you, Tobli. What did I tell you, Mablu? There's one last thing I can help you with, Third Promise. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. Then I suggest you talk to the Huyukui. They once ruled over far more than just Urqupacha and the Pelu Pelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the overlords of Yogg-Turao and all its peoples. During that era, the Pelu Pelu were commanded to search for a city of gold. They scoured every corner of the continent but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yokui have to tell us? They may not have found it, but the fact they thought to look for it at all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated. We lose nothing from asking the question. Besides, if we're determined to follow the path of the saga, we'll be visiting the giants eventually. Well, we're not walking up there, I can tell you that much. Oh, Cryo, I have a question I've been meaning to ask, and since we're finished with the feat, where did you acquire that earring? My earring? Do you recognize it? Yes, pieces like it, just like it, first became fashionable in Yogg-Turao around 20 years ago. Since then, it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. 20 years ago, right about the time my grandfather made his journey. Yet the Dawn Servant implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there was more to its significance than simple fashion. If you want to know how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out. Seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants, I'm curious to learn about it myself. I would appreciate that very much, thank you. Jumping feast first into the peddler business, eh, Mablu? Right then, let's head back to Tuliolao and get ready to search for the next elector. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mezcal for the occasion. She has a fearsome opponent in that brother of hers. He even brought a golden alpaca to heal. But you've heard Zorojar's supporters talk. They might see opportunity in his expansionist ambitions, but they find the man himself intimidating. Terrifying, even. Whereas I've grown to love Wu Glamat. Everyone she meets will come to love her too. That's why she'll win the throne. You might be right, Mablu. You might be right. So, here's where we're wrapping up the stream. We went way longer than I wanted to, but... I don't know when it shows up, but one of the Ether Current quests is going to show up here. And I want to pick it up next episode. But yeah, next episode we should reach the first dungeon, so that'll be fun. Until then, guys, take care. I'll see you all around. Nope, I'm sorry. I'm just too tired. I can't move for another week, Wu Glamat. Take care all. I'll see you all around.